Hey y'all, I'm at I-78 and welcome to TLC Talk with I-78. We are back for Thousand Pound Sisters Season 7, Episode 3. Y'all, it'd be too much going on. Too much and nothing going on all at the same time. Um, y'all, honestly, this episode was not jam-packed with anything of any real substance, just the kind of usual dribble. So this probably is not gonna take long, but I'm gonna tell y'all about what I saw. So this episode starts with the sisters. So Amy, Tammy, Amanda, and Misty, they decide to go to a local lake to hang out, you know what I'm saying, to have a sisters day. So, they in the car, riding, and Tammy's talking about, what happened the last time they went, to the lake. She wasn't real comfortable with, getting in the water, but she had decided at this point in time she was going to get in the water. So we like, okay, cool. Y'all, they get to the lake, and who the hell there waiting on them but one of Amanda's sons? So if this is supposed to be a sister's day, what the hell is her kid doing there? Like, I'm going back to what I said in the last review. Them kids, them grown ass kids that Amanda is hell bent on dragging around with her, is why her and old boy in Florida didn't work out. I guarantee you, when it come out, that's gonna be what it was. That's gonna be what it was. So Amy says the same thing I just said. She was like, I mean, if this is supposed to be, saying, a sister's day and a sister trip, what the fuck is he doing here? She's like, I mean, I'm over it. Like I've had more than enough of my nephews to last me. Like I can't go nowhere without them being there. Like it's too much. I'm like, Amy, I usually don't ride with what you be talking about, but on that, I must agree with you. Yeah. So they get to the lake. It really wasn't much going on there, but what I'm saying, everybody's having a good time. They're in the water. Um, Tammy got in the water, so we was happy for that. Um, and they were just talking about where they were in their weight loss journey. I can tell y'all where they at in their weight loss journey. From what I see, nobody at this particular point is doing any work in their weight loss journey except Misty, from what I can see. It looked like everybody else, saying, lost a little bit, and they was like, all right, cool. Like, I can see a difference, because what they say in the weight loss journey, the person who's in the journey is always the last person to see the, saying, the growth or the transformation. I, as somebody who's on their weight loss journey currently, I can say that. Like, I've had people tell me, it's like, dang girl, you just kind of melting away. And I'm like, what the hell are y'all talking about? And then, one day I was in the mirror, and I could start seeing things was in different places, or saying, nothing's where, things that were there are gone, and then some things are almost gone. So you always the last one to see the progression. But Misty, from what I can tell, is the only one who, once they saw some progression, continued on. Everybody else look like they bullshitting, but that's just me. So they were having a conversation about skin removal and plastic surgery. What would they fix? What is their plan? And of course, Tammy, the one who can't get approved to save her damn life, is the one who had all this commentary about what she was gonna get done. So I'm like, is this finally gonna be the episode where Tammy get approved, or is this gonna be more of the same? So, in what surprised me move, Tammy actually told her sisters that she was dating a woman. Now, she was expecting a whole bunch of hold up, y'all, because I got notes. When I tell y'all this was dull, I had to, there we go. So Tammy was expecting a whole bunch of negativity and disapproval. And see, that's the thing. When you have that in your mind, that's usually what you get. And then when you don't get it, which is what happened with Tammy, she didn't know how to respond. So she really didn't have a response. Because Misty didn't care. Amanda was like, I mean, I don't care if it's man, woman, dog, child, whatever, both sex parts, as long as saying they treating you right, I'm good with it. Now my sister wouldn't have been coming with none of that, but okay, cool. So Misty was like, I mean, to be honest with you, I was shocked when you married, Caleb in the first place. I always thought you would, be with a woman. And she was telling him about how since Caleb died, it just didn't feel right for her to be involved with a man on any level. Okay. I being involved on it I can get, but it's I to get with a woman because it's a woman, just so you don't have to get with a man. How about you just stay by yourself? But that's me. That's me and how I look at it. But she was like, yeah, I just don't feel like it's right to be involved with a man on any level. Since Caleb. So okay, cool. So um nobody flips out about her being with the woman. Um And Amanda was like, you know, I'm glad, you found somebody, this, that, and the third. But Tim was like, I really, wasn't in no hurry, this just kind of happened or whatever. And Amanda was like, well, yeah, I mean, we all know that, you not like Amy. We all, have come to the consensus that Amy the hoe in the family. Like Amy just can't do without. And based on this situation with her and Brian, they might be telling the truth. But we're gonna get to that in a minute. Gonna get to that in a minute. Um so in the I'm gonna tell all my relationship business tell all session that they had. There was conversation about Brian, and everybody wanted to know who all had met Brian, who hadn't, what they thought about Brian. And Tammy was like, the times that I've interacted with Brian, he cool, he all right. I ain't really been around him enough to really get like a strong vibe, but Amy, she was like, sister girl, listen, I ain't trying to, sit up here and try to tell you what to do. But like when I be getting these vibes on these men you be dealing with, you need to start listening to me. Cause I'm saying the last couple men you've been involved with, and I've been telling you the vibe wasn't right. Look at what happened. It's been a hot mess. So, if something pop off and I'm telling you I'm not feeling it, you need to take heed. Take heed to what I'm saying. We all know Amy ain't gonna do that because Amy want to do what the hell Amy want to do, and if it involves blowing everything up, then that's what the hell it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. Um, I don't see how one person, everybody you come in contact with is trash, but it's never on you. It's always them and what they did and what they didn't have and this, that, and the woo, woo, woo. You picked them out. You chose to deal with them. But from what I could tell in these 7 seasons that we've been watching, it just seemed like especially where these kids are concerned, Amy is interested in having fun. Everything in life ain't about enjoying yourself and having fun. Sometimes you got to get to work. Sometimes you got to take care of business. You got TCB, and then you can get to being fun, having fun. Everything is not comfortable. And that, to me, from what I've been seeing, that just seemed to be the type of time that Amy is on, especially with this dude Brian and these kids. Everything is, how much fun they have and all the different things they get to do. But like again, them kids not functioning like 2 and 3 year olds that I've been around. Can't have talk, can't sit down for 5 seconds, can't eat a decent meal, can't do nothing but run around and tab shit. like you know what I'm saying, pointing that shit all the time. Like, no. But again, when you're not getting exposed to anything, and that's one thing again, like I said in the last review, I'll give Amanda credit for that. Like she trying to tell Amy, like, you need to tighten this up with these kids. Tighten this up with these kids. I'm gonna give Amanda that, but that's kind of where it ended with her. So like I said, with saying Tammy telling Amy to be easy and pay attention, she might want to take some of her own advice, because the men that we seen her interact with before Caleb, I mean, I'm not saying Caleb was top tier. He was, you know what I'm saying, top 1%, you know what I'm saying, high value type of man. But based on the men we saw her with before she got to him, Caleb was by far the best. By far the best. So, I mean, Tammy, you might want to take some of your own advice. And like I said, the way Amanda showed up with them damn basketball shorts and them damn Bo Jacksons on, honey, you just got honey, no. I'm not impressed either with that. So she's talking about she want to meet the family. We're gonna see how this go. Cause yeah, all y'all might need me to come help y'all. Y'all might need some matchmaking. Yeah, y'all might need some matchmaking. What else went on? So that went on. Thankfully, Amanda's son wasn't all up in the mix with that, or if he was, they edited him out. I appreciate that, TLC. If that's what happened, thank you. We appreciate that. Because they really ain't got nothing to do with this. What else went on in this episode? Tammy had a follow-up appointment since we was talking about all this, you know what I'm saying, skin surgery and getting ourselves together and being on our weight loss journey. Tammy had an appointment. So we get the Dr. Smith's office, and it was exactly what I thought it was gonna be. So Tammy had a couple of directives, y'all. Tammy needed to make sure that her protein intake was on point. Apparently she has a set amount that she should be consuming daily, and as do I. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all, it depending on how you trying to get the protein, it can be hard. For me, my problem is I can't eat 3 squares to save my life. Like, that's never been me. So yeah. So Tammy is hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? She was talking about, some days, she's killing it. Other days she, you know what I'm saying, is barely getting half of what she's supposed to have, which I mean I can get. Especially if you're relying on protein shakes or smoothies or something of that nature to get the majority of it in. It can be difficult. So Chris was telling her, because she asked Chris to go to the appointment with her, but of course Chris was gonna have to go because Chris had to drive. So I mean, like, that's what it is. So Chris was saying when he was, saying getting himself together and getting down to the weight requirements for his surgery, that he was doing 4 protein shakes a day and then a salad for dinner. And so he was saying, he kind of got burned out on the protein shakes. And I was thinking about that because I was like, I can see how that would happen. So for me, what I started doing was I stick with the same smoothie for a week. So this week is protein powder, coconut milk, frozen mango, scoop of spirulina, and the protein powder. Blend that up, drink. So I'll do that all week. And then next week, we'll probably go to probably chocolate because I haven't had chocolate in a while. So coconut milk, protein powder, cocoa, spirulina, hit that for a week. So if you keep, you know what I'm saying, moving to something different, like last week it was pistachio. So it was, you know what I'm saying, the coconut. No, I did almond milk last week, protein powder. I had sugar-free pistachio creamer and my spirulina and let that ride. So it's like if you constantly keep, you know what I'm saying, mixing it up, you won't get burnt out as fast. So she gets to the appointment and y'all, Tammy ain't losing no weight. She's still kicking around that same 238 from when she came on. So get to the appointment. She's supposed to be getting the proteins up and getting off the tobacco. So the end of last season, she hit him with the, you know what I'm saying, I ain't gonna smoke cigarettes no more. I'm just gonna vape. So Dr. Smith was like, you need to cut the vaping too, because even if you're using non-tobacco vapes, the chemicals that they use in place of the tobacco will still impede healing. So cut the vapes. So she shows up this appointment, protein, I think he said bare bottom baseline for them to even consider operating on you was like 6.0. She shows up at like 5.8 something, but he rounded up like 5.9. He was like, yeah, no, they're not gonna touch you. And then for her tobacco situation, he didn't give her a test, you know what I'm saying? He was like, we're gonna start out with the honor system. So she was like, well, I mean, yeah, I'm not using vapes with tobacco. I'm just, you know what I'm saying, I'm using, you know what I'm saying, the non-tobacco vapes, but I only vape when I get aggravated. But Chris was like, well, then shit, you ain't never stopped vaping because according to you, everything aggravates you. I was like, well, I mean, I wasn't gonna be the one to say it, but since Chris brought it to the table, yeah, that's pretty much accurate. That's what's going on. So, you know what I'm saying, Tammy's still doing what she want to do. And so yet again, we up in here at the doctor's office and we leaving with no surgery. We leaving with no surgery. So I think she's supposed to have 90 grams a day. He was like, yeah, nah, this what you bring, this is not gonna get it. So he was like, cancel all the vaping and get your proteins together and come back. So, you know what I'm saying? She's over there in her feelings. He took a look at, you know what I'm saying, Chris to see how he was healing since he had the skin removal, the torso. Um, and you know, everything was good with that, you know what I'm saying, no problems. And he was commenting on how good a job the surgeon did on recreating Chris's belly button. I mean, it did look like nothing had happened. So I was like, cool. Because that is something that a lot of them don't really do well. So that's that. So on to the most interesting part of the episode. Like I said, it wasn't a whole lot going on. Amy and Brian. So of course, you know, Amy got a new man. This dude is like 50 something years old. They been together for like 6 or 7 weeks at this point, and he is asking Amy and her kids to move in. Now, at this point, we don't know enough about Brian to say that he is really feeling Amy, or you'll say to determine he's a damn opportunist. We don't know enough. All we seeing is, you're saying, they going out, on dates, and that's all we seeing. We're not seeing any like real life, like I'm trying to know you, let's get to the brass tacks type of conversations. I mean, I'm not saying that's, you know what I'm saying, for us to be seeing, but again, if you're gonna be on TV, then be on TV, and we need to see something other than y'all, you know what I'm saying, at the pool hall and throwing axes. Like, he hasn't mentioned anything about her, you know what I'm saying, continuing her weight loss journey and when she gonna pull it together. Because again, y'all keep in mind, when this came on, Amy went up under that knife first. Amy went up under the knife first, then Chris, then Misty and Amanda. And I keep in mind, Amanda had a revision because Amanda had surgery some years before. So, Amanda, since you had surgery and you knew what to do, you know what I'm saying? You knew how to fuck it up. At this point, you had revision, so you should be further along than what you are. You playing games. Chris that had surgery, did what he needed to do, and that had his first round of skin removal. The hell the rest of y'all doing? Misty could have skin removal if she wanted. She was like, I don't want to get cut like that. Which I can understand because I know people who have had, you know what I'm saying, weight loss surgery and was like, I don't want to get cut up like that. I'm good. It ain't that bad. It doesn't cause me any pain. It's not really bothersome. It's not stopping me from doing what I need to do. I'm good. So Misty one of them. But Amy ass went up under the knife first and ain't done a damn thing. All this shit still pocketing, all this, you know what I'm saying, around here. Playing games. She did enough to get knocked up. She lost enough weight to get knocked up. And then used that as an excuse to keep eating. Then when they started calling her out about, okay, you done had them kids while you still eating, and this is when I'm so traumatized and abused, I need to get divorced, so you can use that shit as an excuse to keep eating because you're depressed. So this is the bullshit. This is the bullshit that be going on. But this is what they do. So again, Brian, from what I can see right now at this point, is not adding anything of value to her life. They just out having damn fun. Meanwhile, life is passing them by and they getting further and further in the damn hole. So, he, you know what I'm saying, with the come move in, she over here talking about she don't want to make a move until they baby proof the house. You got toddlers. What the fuck are we baby proofing? You ain't got no newborns up in there. Again, them kids should be further along than what they are for the ages that they are and the resources that you know what I'm saying, that you got going on. You're not putting in any time. It is more to being a parent than just taking them to have some damn fun. And that's all that's going on. So since y'all all having fun, and she like, you know what I'm saying, I'm a, you know what I'm saying, what she gonna do is, and I'm telling y'all, she gonna move in with him to get away, to get around confronting Amanda about when the fuck she getting up out her house, is what this is getting ready to be. She gonna go ahead and go over there with him so that she ain't got to address, you know what I'm saying? Again, this is being an adult. This is that life ain't always fun. That's your house. That I don't know who the fuck paying for it. Michael could still be paying for it for all the hell we don't. Anyway, it ain't her house. She had two houses. She was in one, Tammy was in the other. Why she can't go back to one of them? Or get you another one. But what you're gonna have to do is get the hell up out of here. What they say, you ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell up out of here. They take your kids with you, all of that. Where I go, my kids go, them, they grown. Both them fuckers over 21. They need to have their own damn house. Hell, tell them to get their house and then you go stay with them and then y'all ain't got nothing to worry about. But yeah, all of this, they just, Hun and Brian just want to have, they just want to have fun. So as long as she having fun and be out in the street and ain't got to be nobody mama, because again, you got a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old, you should have your ass in the house. We shouldn't be dating. We shouldn't be laying up. You should have your ass in the house. But ain't that what Michael was saying, which is why he gone? Yeah. Sound a lot like what Michael was saying, and everybody was mad. Except Misty. Misty was like, I mean, I be at home with my kids, so this is not a foreign concept to me. But yeah, this is just some, I want to have fun. So speaking of having fun, this is the most important part of the show right here is what I'm about to tell y'all about. So Amy and Brian decided to take the kids to this drive-through zoo in Tennessee. Y'all, when I tell y'all I'm gonna go, wait for my CHB, we going. I don't even have no kids, but we going to this drive-through zoo because I didn't know how this popping. But anyway, they go to Tennessee to go to the drive-through zoo. And so you get there and you buy buckets of food, you know what I'm saying, to feed the animals. Why y'all need 12 buckets of food to feed these animals, I will never know. So they driving through, you know what I'm saying? Amy got the cell phone video going, and we see the ostrich, you know what I'm saying? She got the bucket of food out, and the ostrich, pecking and getting a little taste. Then the next animal, you know what I'm saying, come and get a little taste. And then we see this camel, right? So camel, you know what I'm saying, she got the thing out, the camel getting a little taste, and then she kind of pulled back, and then the next thing we hear is her screaming. Y'all, the camel done bit Amy. The camel done bit Amy, y'all. Only Amy can go to the zoo and get bit by the damn animals. When have y'all ever in y'all life been to the zoo and become the main dish? I've been to zoos all across this country. I have yet. I have yet to be sampled by any of them. So Amy ass gets bit by the camel. Y'all, she break out and get to screaming. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? Ooh, the woo, 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 woo. And then you hear Brian, because he driving. He like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just put some pressure on it. Like, are you supposed to put pressure on puncture wounds that ain't bleeding? Somebody let me know. I'm just saying, because I missed all of that. Put pressure on the puncture wound that ain't bleeding. So y'all, the screaming, you know what I'm saying, pops off. Then it goes to commercial. It comes back from commercial, and we at Chris and Brittany house. She sends a mass text to everybody in the family telling them that the camel that bit her, and she sends a picture of the bite. Y'all. When I tell you that it wasn't even a real chomp. That was like a nick, but it was enough where, you know what I'm saying, all the fat was popping out. Like, because again, Amy ain't losing no fucking weight. So, you know what I'm saying, he nicked her, you know what I'm saying, like right here, and like right here, and her ass, y'all, it was I see more damage on somebody who had laparoscopic surgery. Like, she had more damage from the weight loss surgery, you know what I'm saying, where they put the incisions and, put the rods in for the robot than she did from that fucking camel bite. So they done called an ambulance, they done come and took her to the hospital and all this bullshit. Being all fucking dramatic. So she out there with the kids, Brian there, they done called a damn ambulance. Apparently, I don't know how the hell the police got there. Because where I live, when you call the ambulance, the police don't come. You have to call them. So I don't know how the hell the police came, but some kind of way the police was there, searched the car, and found weed. They done arrested Brian. He done had to call Amanda, tell her come get the kids, because the police on their way to the hospital to arrest Amy ass. Amy up in the hospital getting her little 4 stitches. If it was even that many, it might have been 4 stitches, y'all. Getting her little stitches. The police come up in there and was like, yo, we found, you know what I'm saying, weed in the car. We understand it belong to you. You under arrest. And she like, what you talk about? You know what I'm saying? I got a medical carry card. That was like, well, baby girl, that's good in Kentucky. That ain't no good here in Tennessee. We taking you for possession. See, this is what I'm talking about. When you busy having fun and ain't taking care of your business. You know you finna take weed with you. You know you got a card. You need to make sure where you going, your card privileges carry with you, just like when you got a weapon with concealed carry. That's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in North Carolina, we good. I don't have to tell you nothing. You know what I'm saying? Then I go, you know what I'm saying, see my peoples in Florida, and I step up in the spot and I don't tell nobody. And they see my, you know what I'm saying, my stuff on me, and now I'm in trouble. Because I ain't checked to see what was, these are just examples. I didn't check to see what was going on. So Amy, they ain't give a damn about your carry card. You was in Tennessee where it's illegal to have weed. You have been arrested. Now you got charges. So damn, Amanda, they had to come get your kids. Now Krista had to come down there and bail your punk ass out. Why Brian couldn't get you out? Somebody want to let me know why Brian couldn't come get you out? I got questions. Ain't that your man? Don't he want you to come live with him? Why he couldn't get you out? But see, this is what we doing. So, folk got pending charges. They get back home. You know what I'm saying? Amy still got the stitches and whatnot. You know, they gave her some antibiotics, you know, just in case, you know, the camel, you know, was you know, carrying a little something. You know, we'll never know. Sometimes take a couple days, you know, for things to, you know, materialize. And then again, you know, you've been petting animals all damn day, and then you use that hand to put pressure on a non-bleeding puncture wound. You could have infected your damn self. But anyway, this broad, after all of this done went on, got nerve to be on some I don't want to talk to nobody. You mean you don't want to talk to the people who came to get your kids and bailed your ass out of jail? And had to put up bail money, which means they're responsible to make sure your punk ass get back to Tennessee to get to court, and you don't want to talk? Let me call the bail bondsman. Revoke her. Revoke her right now. I don't want my name on none of this. So yeah, she in there talking slick all about how she don't want to talk to nobody and this and that and the woo. What? Y'all, this that foolishness. This is the foolishness that's going on. Bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. You should have kept your ass in the house with your damn husband, taking care of them kids that you wanted to have, because I don't think Michael told her he wanted to have any kids. So again, when you making decisions, decisions come with consequence, rewards and consequences. Consequences and rewards. So again, if you gonna be the stay-at-home mama and he out working, then don't be looking for this 50-50 on this raising kids. That ain't how that work. That's not how that work. So just something for y'all to think about when y'all be out here trying to make these decisions. It ain't all rewards. Sometimes it's consequences. And you got to, you know what I'm saying, weigh the good with the bad and make sure you ready for what you say you ready for. Else you're gonna end up with a camel bite facing damn charges. And on that, I'm gonna see y'all later. Thank you for joining me for episode 3, season 7, 1,000-Pound Sisters. We will be back with our review of episode 4. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you have not. Make sure your notifications are on, and I will see y'all later. Bye.